Why not just say to him, you know what, there's too much wrong with this car? Because then at least he could make the decision to call it a day.
Yes, you're right. And that's the reason I didn't ask for extra. And that's the reason I gave him that loaner car. He drive it, which the time that Sean drive the car, it get almost 18 ticket. Unfortunately, I don't have any record for that. But park my car in the street and get the ticket and make a headache.
Yeah, Mr. Randall.
It was a junk car when he gave me. When it got to Long Beach, it stayed on right there. It didn't never start back up. I told him to come pick it up many times. It collected tickets. I'm not a mechanic.
That must be thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Do you have that outstanding?
No, I go to the DMV and I said situation. They said just junk it.
Oh, and they didn't make you pay for the parking tickets?
No.
Wow, sir.
It wasn't his car, Your Honor. That's why he doesn't have it. He was loaning someone else's car out, which was a junk car from the beginning.
So the parking tickets aren't in your name?
No, how is possible somebody bring the car to me and don't ask for the car and get the ticket, don't come to follow me? How is possible that?
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and open this back up to my colleagues.
A couple of questions I need to be clear about. How much did you pay the defendant since 2021, the first time you brought your Jeep Cherokee to him, for repairs of that car?
From what we've accumulated so far, it's like close to 9, but I've given him cash.
At times?
Yes, sir.
And you claim that all of the money that you got from the plaintiff was $4,800?
In the beginning, Sean come to shop for the exhaust system problem. And 3 times we repaired that exhaust system, which he paid me for that one. And that one is included on this one. But when it comes to the...
Stop, please. So in other words, you're only talking about for the engine work.
Yes.
But you did other work
Yes.
for him. And all of that work altogether was over $10,000.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, yes.
And the car never worked again after you brought it to the defendant.
Right,
Is that
drove
your
it to the
testimony?
shop. I never
And
drove
even though he was fixing other things other than the engine, it still didn't work. Was there an agreement that he would pay you more money than that which he gave you?
Thanks for asking that, Your
And
Honor.
when was that?
When I called him, because he asked me to cash the checks periodically because
Right.
he didn't want them all at the same time. So I was down to the last check. I called him. I said, I'm like, Vic, you gonna give me some more money? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm out the last check. You said you was gonna pay me my money. He's like, oh, no, sue me, brother. And he hung up the phone. And then I went to go cash the check, and it was a stop payment.
Do you have a text saying that he's going to return more money to you?
Not necessarily.
No, you don't. Where did you write on the protest?
On the invoice for my car, for the tow truck guy. I had to sign
You're
my...
supposed to communicate to the person who gave you the money that you're taking this money under protest.
Yeah.
Because part of his defense, I imagine, is that, hey, I gave you back as much money as I think I owed you. Now you're continuing to sue me.
Me and Vic are, we cool other than this. I'm not like that to say that, you know what I'm saying? But we had an agreement. My mother even came down there, and he said that he was going to pay me a sum to where he did not. So we had an agreement. He was supposed to give me some of my money back.
Do you feel that you owe him more than the $1,500?
I said $1,000 I can give it to you if you want. Then back and forth, we agreed to finish the checks, and I give it to him, that 4 check. After 3rd check, he tried to scare me or tell I'm gonna come collect more money. We are agree with that, and why you have to do that?
Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to excuse the parties while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you both very much. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We find a fair resolution to this case, but I think what ultimately influenced us were a couple of facts that have been established. And number one, we believe that the plaintiff brought his car to you to be fixed, and he got back an undrivable car, and that the plaintiff paid over $10,000 to have that car repaired. So under the circumstances, your damages exceed our jurisdictional limit of $5,000. But we believe, after considering all of the testimony and the documents, that you've proved by a fair preponderance of the evidence in this case that you're entitled to have $5,000 of the money you spent for repairs returned to you. So the verdict is in favor of the plaintiff for $5,000.